Hello, today I have another very chaotic video where I do lots of things. The first part of this video is going to be designing the interior layout for these two brownstones that I made a while ago in Newcrest. Before we get into the speed build and everything, as always, my main channel will be linked in the description of this video if you want to check that out. I post on there twice a week, every Tuesday and Saturday, and it's just me and my life and all that. So yeah, okay, I built these brownstones, I think, before I made the channel. In any case, I didn't film it, and as a little update to a kind of dilemma I had in my last video, I did put all of the windows I wanted on first, and then went and designed the interior layout based on the windows so that I wouldn't have weird windows at the end of it. So that problem does not occur here. I decided to make these apartments. So if you remember, I think this is back to my very first video, when I did the layout of the other two brownstones, I wanted to make them kind of like dorms. So they all had that basement, laundry space, all that, whatever. I don't even know why I'm doing that big explanation. In any case, that's not what I did here because I wanted these to be separate apartments. So what I did for both sides actually is I made the bottom two floors, because these ones are only 3 floors as well, whereas the other ones I had were 4. So I made the bottom 2 floors one apartment. So I guess for a bigger family. I don't remember how many bedrooms. Well, I just showed you. So the one on the left has 3 bedrooms on the bottom 2 floors, and then I made the top floor like a studio, and then with one of the studios it has 2 bedrooms and the other only has 1. And yeah, so I did this because I have a couple Sims that I need to move in here who I'm gonna talk about when I'm making them in CAS. Well, they're made, I just had to go through and make all of their outfits because they were actually randomly generated. But yeah, so this video again is kind of weird because I'm doing an interior layout and then we're gonna completely furnish their apartment as well as do their outfits in CAS, and then I took a couple photos, I did using Pose Player and everything, so it's kind of a little complicated. So I know I'm technically counting this as a speed build because I feel for the most part it is, but yeah, I don't know, because I was debating about making this a CAS video technically, because it's all about these two Sims and I make them and whatever, but I felt majority of the video is a speed build, so that's what it's gonna be. Yeah, but then I just put the mailboxes down and I had pretty much the layout, and now we're gonna go edit them in CAS. So this is the Miller family. You're gonna have to ignore their absolutely crazy outfits. So they're married. There's Jorge and Donnie, and pretty much, I didn't make these Sims. Again, they were randomly generated because, I know I've mentioned her, I think in almost literally every single video on my channel so far, but my Sim Devin Scott, who I really need to make a video on, at some point I'm gonna move them into a different house that I built myself, so it'll be much easier to show you her, just like I did with the Russo family and everything. But so she's an actor, and Jorge is her coworker friend, because he was just one of the randomly generated Sims, and often with the acting career they're go socialize with a coworker, and so he's the coworker she would always socialize with. And then, I don't know, it sounds cringe. I always feel so cringe when I say this, but I got a little bit attached to him because I was man, he's her little coworker friend. Because when I was going through and deleting every single family, which I don't know if I said that in my last video, but I ended up doing, I went and deleted every single family, and so I deleted, well, I was debating about deleting him, but then I felt I don't know, I could use him, so I did. Also, his husband, they actually got married through neighborhood stories. So his husband was also a randomly generated sim, so I just decided to keep him as well. I really didn't know kind of what their style was gonna be, so I kind of went and figured it out. I've been using a lot of styled looks for a lot of these sims, which I need to not do so much because I do find the styled looks very useful, but I also find a lot of them to be ugly, so I'm gonna at some point end up accidentally dressing a lot of my sims the same if I just use styled looks, because I'm pretty sure with both of them most of their outfits are like just styled looks, so I need to kind of veer away from that a little bit. Yeah, and then I decided that they would have a dog. I was debating between a dog or a cat, but then I decided since they live right next door to like a dog-friendly restaurant, you know, that they would have a dog. And then I was thinking 2 dogs, but then I felt like they were just such a little dog family. I don't know, I really struggled with the dog because I kept seeing dogs and I'd be like, oh, they're cute, but it didn't really fit the vibe. But then I ended up, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Papillon, whatever, this little freak dog. And then I just randomly generated her name, and I came across Roxy with an IE, but I felt like she was much more of a Roxy with a Y, so then I went and changed it to Roxy. But I don't know if I'm fully happy with that. Like, to me, she's very Roxy, but I don't know if they would name their dog Roxy. I don't know. But then I went back in here to furnish their apartment, but first I had to, like, write down the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. Oh yeah, like I was saying earlier, with, like, the dorms, how they had a shared laundry space, I gave each apartment a little laundry room. Yeah, I actually really like how this apartment came out. It's not at all my usual style. I often go for like light colored walls and stuff, but I decided to go insane here, which you will see, and I really like how it turned out. The only thing I feel like I should have done is added an accent wall somewhere. Like, some of their walls feel a little bit empty. But yeah, I went for this really nice, like, kind of deep blue, and then in the bedroom, this deep green. Yeah, so, like, I want to go back and add an accent wall, but other than that, this is, like, perfect, and I love it. And, oh yeah, some of the, I was talking to my friends, and I was showing them the apartment just to ask for some advice about the accent wall situation, and you'll see eventually, but they said it would be cool if I changed their bedroom door to an archway as well, which I thought was a very interesting idea, and I think I'm actually going to do that, because I was like, it's their bedroom door, you know, like, what the frick? But then, again, like, they're the only people that live here, it's their little studio apartment, so that's actually totally fine. Yeah, so then, that's their little laundry space, as well as kind of, like, the mudroom and entryway. I went back at some point and added a shoe rack and an umbrella stand in there, because it's, like, the entryway through the stairs as well as the laundry room, but right now I'm doing their bathroom. So, yeah, I went with these really nice, like, teal cabinets, which I loved, and I kept the same cabinets in the kitchen, like, the same style, but I just picked the white swatch because I felt like the teal cabinets didn't work very well with, like, the dark blue wall. It was just a little too much, but I really like how this turns out. In terms of who they are as people, I feel like I haven't really discussed that. Like, so, to be honest, I came up with who they are as people, like, in the middle of the night last night. Oh, I'm also obsessed with this runner I added under the table. It's so beautiful. Yeah, but I kind of came up with that last night, because, like, I did all of this because I just, like, well, I needed to keep Jorge because he's Devin Scott's coworker friend, but, like, I just needed to put them somewhere because they currently, like, were not in a house anywhere, so I put them here, which is totally fine. I designed their apartment, but I was just like, I don't know, who are they? I decided that Donnie is a bartender, and at some point in the future I'm gonna build a dive bar in Newcrest. I know exactly where. Like, I don't know if I said this in my first video, but I, on my phone, have a whole map and layout of Newcrest. Like, I know what every lot on it is gonna be, so like the dive bar is gonna happen, I know where the dive bar is gonna be, all of that. I just have to build it, so he can be the bartender there. And then Jorge is obviously an actor. I haven't gone through and, like, made their families or anything. But I kind of know the vibe. So obviously they're gay. And I decided, because I'm just a freak, I decided that Jorge's dad was very unsupportive and his mom was very supportive, which caused them to get a divorce when he was 18, and then he pretty much hasn't spoken to his dad since. I don't know where his dad is. Obviously I haven't made any of these people, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that yet. And then with Donnie, his parents were like kind of mid-supportive, where they're like, we don't agree, but we love you anyways, so it's like a little weird. But he has a younger brother who is like super supportive, is what I decided. And the younger brother, because I'm going to tie this into some lore, because I went and deleted all of my Sims friends, the younger brother is going to be Victor Russo's friend, and is pretty much going to replace like Marcus Flex, because Marcus Flex was like Victor's like gym rat friend, so this is going to be his new gym rat friend. I'm obsessed with the rug I put in here. I really like how this turned out. Like, I felt so kind of out of my comfort zone, and it was really weird for me to do this, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. I liked having the orange curtains, but I did need to change them because I looked closer at the swatch later, and the orange curtains are dinosaur curtains. So, yeah. No, I'm not gonna have dinosaur curtains in my cute house, but yeah, so I need to go through and make all of their parents and whatever. Oh, yeah, I also really struggled with the curtains in the bedroom because they have this extra kind of wide window there, but yeah, so like the curtains aren't gonna match, so it's fine. So I went with this, where I had these like long kind of flowy curtains and then the folded ones over there. Which I think turned out okay. I also thought I was gonna put a little office in their bedroom, but then I decided it was too small, so I moved the office to the living room, which was good because I also just had a lot of extra empty space out there. So yeah, maybe an accent wall in the bedroom, maybe an accent wall in the living room, maybe both an accent wall in the bedroom and an accent wall in the living room. I don't know. I will get there. But yeah, I'll say it again for the millionth time. I just feel like this is not at all like my usual kind of decorating style. I've also been working very hard in general on like doing more simplistic building and decorating, because to me, whenever I like used to decorate and stuff, it would always just feel so empty, and then I feel like I would start over cluttering and it would look really weird. So I've been working on just like not doing that much and just letting the space kind of be the space, if that makes sense. And I feel like I did a very good job with this. Now, I don't know whose office desk space this is. I don't know, because we have a bartender and an actor. I guess maybe Jorge's, perhaps. I don't know, but also it could just be shared. I just put some clutter on here. I was pretending like, I don't know, maybe we had scripts or whatever laying around. And then I put some magazines on the right side of it, and I left the left side pretty much open. Then, what did I do? Oh, then I moved them into their apartment. And then I went through and did some poses. I left the game. Oh, never mind. I'm putting art on the wall. I left the game at some point because I realized I didn't really have any poses for like people with their dogs, so I just had to go download some really quick. I didn't take that many pictures because, again, I'm trying to keep kind of a simplistic vibe here, and I often fall for the trap of becoming obsessed with pictures, and then every wall is covered with family photos, and I was like, I'm not doing that. So I took a decent amount, but I ended up only using 3. I have a photo of the 2 of them together, and then a photo of each of them with Roxy, their little dog, and I put them on their dresser here. So yeah, I really like how this turned out, and I do have like lore ideas for them, so like I don't need storyline advice, but if you're thinking about providing any or have any ideas, obviously the comment section is always available for that, and I would love to hear any suggestions about anything at all, anytime, even if it's not related to them. Just any ideas for the save file would be greatly appreciated, because this is my first time trying to make a save file, and I don't have this all planned out, you know, like, this is gonna be really difficult for me, I think, especially because I don't make a lot of Sims that I don't like, because I like to like my Sims, obviously, because, yeah, I feel like that makes sense. Like, I just have a hard time making Sims that I don't like, so that's something I struggle with, but I'm working on getting better at that, because I'm coming up with storylines, like, for example, with Jorge having a really unsupportive dad, so I'm getting there. So far, I really only have 2 Sims who you haven't even seen yet that I dislike. I'd more so just have ideas for more of them. Yeah, but lots of stuff is in the works. That's such a corny thing to say, but my next video is gonna be, I think, designing some stuff for this family I made. The family is made, but I'm gonna need a little house and a little apartment, I think, for them. I know where one of the people in the family is gonna live. Like, I know where the apartment's gonna be. I don't know where the house is gonna be. I haven't fully decided that, because pretty much there's a girl and she's gonna be on the soccer team. But see, because I just don't know how much separation I want between my worlds, because, oh, these pictures were glitched, so I had to go retake some, but it's fine, because it worked out anyways. But yeah, I don't know how much separation I want between the worlds, because one member of the soccer team and her dad is going to be the soccer coach. They live in Brindleton Bay, but I don't know if I want this to be just like a Brindleton Bay soccer team, or if like anyone could live anywhere and be on the soccer team. So I just don't know where I want her to live yet. She doesn't feel fully Brindleton Bay to me, but like I don't know what's going on. So I need to figure that out. Like, do I want my worlds to really be like separate countries, or do I just like kind of not really give a gaff and it's just all we can teleport everywhere? Like, I got some mods that made it so that like there is some world separation, but I also am not fully confident that that's what I want, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like you know what I'm saying. But yeah, right here, I would change that door to an archway, and I think that would be so much better looking. So I think I'm gonna go back in and do that next time I play. But yeah, that is the Miller family set up in their little apartment. At some point in the future, there will be like a kind of lore video on them, you know, where I make their parents and everything. But that's Jorge and Donnie and their little dog Roxy, and their very nice, very fun apartment that I really liked designing in Newcrest. Yeah, and I will see you next week. Again, I'm pretty sure the video is going to be on another family that I've already made. Although they're also not one of my main families. I need to work on my main families too. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Goodbye.